Well, hey everybody, backyard scrapping here, and welcome to part 8. It is actually a beautiful morning out here. It's cool, 40-ish, 45, but it's nice and sunshiny in here. I'm going to start this video by saying I've never ever done a refine where I've been interrupted so much as this one. But anyway, I have set aside a day or two here. I'm going to get this thing finished one way or another. Fortunately, the one thing that time did give us, and not being able to get out here and do any of this recently, was this stuff really had a chance to settle out. And as you can see, there is nothing left. So we got everything out of the fluid. That was my intention. Our settling jars are about the same. There is our next drop, which we're going to do today. And then we are going to also start our process on our chips and run that test today. And I'm actually going to try and get all this finished up today. I've had some other chores I've had to do. I've had a bunch of stuff come in. We've got some videos coming up, some more refines, another big processor refine. I've got a silver refine we're going to do next, right immediately after we finish this one. And actually it's some silver contacts, and we're going to try and get back on track. Every time I came out here to do something, I'd get a call, or I'd have to go do something, or something would tear up, or something would break, and it's just been on and on. And next week I should be able to start that silver refine and get everything back on track. I'm not going to say hopefully this or hopefully that or knock on wood or none of that stuff, because every time I've said it, it's come back to haunt me. So anyhow, let me get the camera set up. I'm going to get these fluids moved out of my way. We are going to do this drop. We are going to do this, put this in aqua regia and get it cleaned up. And then also I have, let's see, these little bad boys we're going to do. Which, what I'm going to do, I've decided, I've done some reading on these, and I think somebody else in the comments said what they do with them is they just really pulverize them and crush them up, and they do the caps in one solution, and they do the ceramics and the rest in another solution. So I think that's the way we're going to go with these, because I really do want to try and get an accurate amount for him on this. So, alrighty guys, like I said, let me get set up and we'll get right back at you. Okay guys, here is our, this is our caps off of those chips. This is the chips smashed up. What I'm going to do is put some hydrochloric acid in there and let it set for a little bit, see if we can dissolve anything off. Our cleanup of our BGA chips is done. I added a little more. I actually did it in nitric acid because I wanted to do it fast today. Yeah, it might have cost me a little bit more, but it's done and I don't have to wait, and I know the crap is out of it. This is our solution from our backs, from our big processors. So this is going to actually go into what that button was, so we can see what we got off the processors. I got to add a little bit more water to this, and distilled water, and denox it and get it ready to drop. And I am just in the process of, I'm going to transfer these over to the other bench and get them ready to go in my waste bucket. As you can see, like I said, there is nothing. I've checked them all. There's nothing in the bottoms. So, and they've had plenty of time, like almost 3 weeks to settle. So we are good to go there. Our rinse waters are basically void. We got everything out of those with that other little button. So let me go ahead and do this. I've got some water boiling to rinse that stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get right back at you. Okay guys, this is are the test chips. I just wanted to show you that I did add some HCl to both the caps and the ceramics. I expected to get a reaction from the hydrochloric and the ceramics, because I know there's some crap metal in there. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to let these sit for a little while. Then I will actually pour off that hydrochloric acid and add some fresh, see if I continue to get a reaction. When I don't get a reaction anymore, then I will go ahead and add some nitric to it and make aqua regia. Because what I'm actually doing is I'm letting that acid clean up what it can clean up, you know, and what metals it can get out of there before, you know, before we go ahead and make aqua regia, clean it up as good as we can. I'm actually warming up. That's the back plates from the big processors, the solution. I'm going to warm it up a little bit, get it denoxed. We're going to go ahead and get that dropped. We already have our other VGA chip powder acid washed and cleaned. So I am actually fixing to add some hydrochloric in here. We're probably going to get a slight reaction because I didn't, you know, I knew I was going to make aqua regia anyway. So I didn't super rinse it, but I did rinse it till it was clear. And I'm going to continue on. I'm not going in a lot of detail with this part, with these parts, because this actually, you know, we really went in depth on the ceramics. I've already gone in depth in a couple videos on the BGAs and the other stuff that we're doing. And this test we're going to pay a little bit more attention to, just to see what these are going to yield. So let me get this warmed up, and then we're going to do a drop. I don't expect to see much of a change in that because it's going to again be a dirty drop like the other ones were. That one, however, should be a bit cleaner. Hopefully this acid will clean these out and these will be a bit cleaner. I'm not seeing any kind of a reaction off the caps. I was thinking maybe there was a solder or something that would react with HCl, but apparently it's not reacting. So we'll probably just go ahead and get that right into aqua regia in a couple minutes. So I'll get back at you in just a bit. Okay guys, we're going to start adding some nitric, a squirt at a time to our BGA chips. Now remember, it's cool out here. I may end up having to warm this stuff, or I may end up warming it up a bit in a little while, just to make sure that we got everything. We should be getting a pretty instant reaction on this, because cleaning it with the nitric, believe it or not, really does a much better job than doing it with the, you know, boiling it in the hydrochloric. And the nitric is a lot faster. It's just a lot more expensive. I actually have a lead on some nitric acid I have to follow up on. I just haven't had much of a chance to do anything lately. So I will follow up on that. If you're watching, you know who you are, who told me about it, and I greatly appreciate that, because like you said in your email, that will be a game changer. Yeah, if we can get our nitric acid for half price, it would definitely change things a little bit, but you know, we have to look into it. To me, I've always found there's usually some kind of a catch, but I actually haven't looked into it yet, so I don't know. But anyway, we are getting a reaction already. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can hold that up. See, we're getting some color already. So I am going to just let that go. My one for my drop is starting to warm up. These bad boys back here are dumping some crap into the hydrochloric, which is exactly what I wanted them to do. So we're doing good on that. Alrighty guys, we'll be back at you in a bit. Okay everybody, we are ready to drop this. I'm not expecting a big reaction from this really at all. This is just, I don't remember, 5-6 backs from the ceramic processors. Once again, I'm going to use an excess of sodium metabisulfite because we got a lot of crap in here. So I'm just going to put a little bit in, see what happens. I didn't get any reaction from the sulfanic acid, so we're going to just go ahead and dump that in. It looks like we got something falling out of there already. I have no idea what that is, but we will check it out. Actually looks like copper. But anyway, so we're going to just stir this up for a second. Like I said, I didn't expect to see a big reaction from this, just because I don't believe there's going to be a lot of gold there. But you never know. Gold is where you find it. I remember an old prospector telling me that. He said, gold is where you find it. Alright. So that's done. This is from our BGA chips. I'm going to let it sit for the evening, and then we will drop that. I am working on changing the acid from cleaning our test stuff, and that's what I thought. I don't know initially what that was in there, but whatever it was has dusted down to almost nothing in the bottom of this beaker. So initially you can see there's that little bit of flake in there, a little bit of stuff. That's probably our gold. I'm going to let that sit overnight and we'll check it out and get back with you. So let me change out my other acid, get this up on the shelf, and continue to dissolve our other materials. That is our caps for our test. You can see that they are slowly but surely working, and I'll get back at you in a bit. Okay guys, as you can see, we've got a good reaction going on. That's our caps from our test stuff. So they're dissolving out. That in that beaker next to it is the pour off the hydrochloric acid from these test chips, and what that did was dissolve all those legs and whatever, but you can see all our gold is still there. So by doing this, and then I rinsed it with hydrochloric acid. I didn't even rinse it with water, but you can see it's clear now, that little bit of acid in the bottom. So we have rinsed that with hydrochloric acid. I'm going to go ahead and add some HCl to it, put some nitric in it, make our aqua regia, and we're going to go ahead and get the gold off of these bad boys. So everything is going as planned today. So far, no interruptions. So I'm just going to continue on. So we'll get back at you in a bit. Okay everybody, it's starting to get chilly out here. We're losing our sunshine out there, and under here gets cold real quick. This is our aqua regia from the BGA chips. There is a little tiny, I've knocked it into the corner of the beaker. I don't know why we call it a corner, it's round. But that's a little tiny dusting of gold that came off of those the backs, the processor backs. I have to write everything on here because I got a bunch of jars going. This is the backs off of our little experiment or test chips. That is the ceramics from our test chips, and that is some rinse water that is cooking down. So that is where we are right now. Like I said, it's getting a little cold, so I'm going to go ahead and go inside and let this stuff settle. I'm going to let all these aqua regias set overnight. I like to do that just to be sure, but it looks pretty good to me. And we did get it. I was worried about, you know, sometimes when you got a lot of solution and just a little bit of gold in it, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to get that gold to fall out. But we did get it to come out, so, and it did drop out pretty clear so far. It's only been an hour or two, so we'll let that sit overnight. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go in. I'm freezing, and I'll get back at this in the morning. Okay, everybody, it is the next day, and I let this stuff set all night and pretty much all afternoon, and everything is dissolved. That is actually from our caps. Here's our ceramics. I see nothing left in there, no gold on them. So we're going to go ahead and get this stuff filtered off. I don't see any more sediment. Get this out of the way. I don't see any more sediment coming out of our from our main processor backs. We got that little bit that I piled up there last night, and we are going to go ahead and get this filtered off. This is our from our BGA chips. So I'm going to get the little gold filter set up, and we're going to go to filtering. If we get it all filtered off, we will drop it today. If not, I will have to do it tomorrow. But let me get set up and we'll get right back at you. Okay guys, there is our solution from our ceramics. This is what's left. I rinsed it till it was good and clean. There was only about 100 mils of aqua regia in there, so we may have to evaporate some of this down, or maybe not. I'm going to just kind of check it and see how it is at first. But that's our first one. I'm going to get these other two filtered off. I'm actually going to take and pull this and filter it again, and then we'll get on the other two. So we'll be back at you when all the filtering is done. Okay guys, I'm just popping in real quick to show you where we are. This is our filtered test solution from our caps. That's our solution from our BGA chips, which I'm going to have to warm up because it's getting cold out here again. I'm actually warming up. That's from our ceramic test. I'm warming that up right now so I can denox these. That's what I'm going to do right quick. There's our BGA chips and our ceramics that are left over. I'm going to dry them out, look them over, make sure there's nothing in them or on them. But as soon as this stuff gets denoxed, I'm going to drop it. I want to do this tonight even though it's getting cold, because I want them to sit overnight. So I will get back at you when we're going to start dropping these. Okay guys, we have made it to our first drop. I'm currently heating, or warming the cap solution over on the burner. This is the test solution for the little ceramic chips. I have no idea what to expect out of this, so I'm actually going to hit it pretty hard with some SMB. I can tell by the color there's some contaminants. We're going to re-refine all this anyway. So anyhow, let's see what we get out of this. Like I said, I'm going to hit it hard because I have absolutely no idea, what we're going to get out of this. Getting a nice change. Looks like we're going to have a fairly decent drop. So now this was out of the chip part. So the only thing I can do is let this settle and test this solution in the morning and see if there's any gold left in it, because like I said, as far as measuring wise, I don't have any idea how much gold is going to be in here. So I couldn't really base my, I try to use 1 to 1.5 grams of sodium metabisulfite per gram of expected gold, but I just threw a lot in here because I don't know. And like I said, if we drop out some other metals, we will actually refine this again, so it doesn't matter. But we did get a nice color change and a nice drop, so I'm trying not to hit the sides so much anymore so we don't get little streaks of gold down there. Alrighty, so up next is going to be our bases. Or not our bases, this was our chips. The next part is going to be our caps, our all metal caps that we dissolved. So let me set this booger up on the shelf and check the caps and see if they're ready to go yet. Okay, here we are. I've denoxed this. And once again, we're going to really pound it with SMB because I don't know what to expect. So we'll start it off with a little bit there. I didn't see any drastic any change at all. Now this is from those little caps. It got a little cloudy. I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of that in there. Like I said, if we drop some other metals, it doesn't really matter. because it's all going to be refined again. I saw it get cloudy. I don't know how the camera picked it up, so I don't know if it's going to do a color change or not. I would think it would have by now if it was gonna, but this was already fairly brown to start with, so this is our test. We've got our ceramics done. We've already done the drop. It's up on the shelf. This is our caps. I am seeing a little cloudiness, but I don't know. Again, like I said, we'll just have to wait till tomorrow. There it goes. Nope, there it actually went. Okay, so it just took a little while. That's actually a pretty good change for for the little amount that there was. Sometimes it pays to keep stirring, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse that. So we did end up getting a good change. It just took a minute. Yeah, we've actually got some gold on top of that. Alright, so we know we're going to get a little gold out of the caps. I'm going to go ahead and put these bad boys up on the shelf, and when our other solution is denoxed and ready, we will go ahead and do that drop. We're at a 3-for-1 today, so we'll be back at you in just a bit. Alrighty, we have made it to our last drop. I think there's a little lead chloride in this. I saw either a little bit of lead or a little silver chloride in this. I'm not overly concerned with it right now because, once again, I know I'm being redundant, but it's all going to be done again. So this is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do this drop. See if we get a white change out of this one. Yeah, I like it when it does this. I love it when it goes over white like that and then turns. Now just turn. Come on, turn. There you go. I'm not expecting a ton of gold in this because there was, you know, I mean, by the time you actually do the just the plastic part of the ceramics, or not the ceramics, but the BGA chips on this, the weight, it's just not a lot of weight. There's just not a lot there because of the heat sinks. But we're going to get a little bit of gold out of it anyway. And it is cool out here, so it is taking longer. And I'm trying not to hit the sides because I know I'm going to streak it full of gold. And I've already done it. There it goes. It's hard to do in a small beaker. It's very hard not to hit the sides. If you got a big beaker, you got a lot more room. Alrighty. Okay guys, I'm freezing out here. I'm gonna really quick set this all up on the shelf, show you what we got, and then we will come out here tomorrow morning, or when I can get out here tomorrow, and we will see what kind of gold we got. Just initially, those little chips that we're doing the experiment on, they look pretty good. So they look like they're going to yield a decent amount of gold for no more chips than there were. Alrighty guys, I'm going in. I'm cold. I will see you guys out here tomorrow. Well, good morning everybody. It is a bright, sunshiny morning, but it's cold. So let's see how our little drops did. We got some there. We got a little bit there out of them backs. It looks pretty cleared out. There's a little haze in this one still. So I'm just going to leave it sit for a few more hours, and the same with this one. This one looks pretty clear. That's our BGA chips. So that's where we are at right now. I think we're a bit over 25 minutes into this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one. Our next video, hopefully, there's no hopefully about it. Our next video is not going to take me 3 weeks to put out. I'm going to actually get this stuff rinsed and cleaned, and we'll start that video with the melt of this material. Get a total before our second refine, see where we're at, and we're going to have to keep these two separate till the very, very end, because we're going to have to re-refine this and get a total on it all by itself just for the test. And then we will combine and split our gold up and get this sent home. I'm sure he's really ready to have it. So guys, we will see you in the next video.